Boy, Ghostface is really being a little trickster this time, isn't he? Between AI rumors, Stu Macher conspiracies, and Roman Bridger truthers, Scream 7 is already a full-blown horror circus. Hey guys, welcome back to Scareticulous, the place where we break down horror, slash through rumors, and survive the algorithm one scream at a time. Get it? If you're new here, hit like and subscribe because I love adding new victims to my kill list. Alright, let's get into it. Today we're diving into the wildest theories yet, AI Ghostface and multiple killers in Scream 7. So, as we've seen from the trailer, you can see how there might be multiple Ghostface killers. There's also been rumors of the AI Ghostface, where it's possible that Stu Macher, Roman Bridger, even Dewey may come back as like AI ghosts or something, like where, you know, the Ghostface killer is going to be taunting Sidney with images and video of people from her past. We heard these rumors from Daniel Richtman, who I guess is some kind of like movie leaker person. So I guess that's where like a lot of people have gotten these ideas that AI is going to be used in the movie and that, you know, all these other things are going to be brought back for the film. I think that's what's kind of spurring on a lot of these rumors of like Stu Macher's sister and all this stuff. I want to just kind of dissect, you know, the possibility of that happening, the AI angle, from what we know so far from the actual trailer itself, as well as get into the multiple killers aspect, because there's another like sub rumor going around that I've seen where there's basically going to be like two groups in the movie that are going to be dealing with separate ghost faces, right? You're going to have Sidney and Gail and maybe someone else. They're like going to be off on their own, and then you're going to have Sidney's daughter Tatum and her friends kind of off on their own dealing with another ghost face, right? So there's going to be two ghost faces that are kind of messing with both of them. We also know from the trailer, and also I guess from the general story that we have so far, this story is going to be taking place in two different places, right? It's going to be taking place in Woodsboro and also in Pine Grove, right? So you're going to have this weird split focus in the movie that we've not really had before. Usually, previous Scream entries have kind of relegated themselves to one location, either, Woodsboro or New York or, wherever, right? Hollywood, California, you'll have like these locations that are more centralized in the movie. Whereas this one, it feels like very purposely they're trying to split the focus between Woodsboro and Pine Grove. Right, between Sidney and Gail, basically the older legacy characters, and like the newer, like Tatum and her friends. You'll have Chad and Mindy Meeks Martin probably join up with Sidney and Gail. I think that's probably likely because at this point they're getting to be more legacy characters since they've been around since Scream 5. So you're going to probably have different groups dealing with different ghost faces, right? So what this means to me is that there's going to be a different motivation for each of the ghost faces, correct? And each group to be terrorized by each ghost face. So if someone's going to be terrorizing Tatum and communicating with her and trying to get to her and her friends, what's the purpose of that, right? Is it to try to like snuff out the next generation to prevent like another Sidney type of arc like they did back in the day? In that case, would it be like a younger person? Would it be someone that we either, haven't met yet, like maybe Tatum's boyfriend, or it could be McKenna Grace's character? I've heard also a rumor that McKenna Grace is like kind of be like a standout character in this movie. So that leads me to believe she's going to be a little bit more than just a little victim in this movie. But I have heard that rumor that she's going to be a standout character. So that to me signals that she's either going to be more of a hero character or more of a villain. I guess at this point it's a toss-up. It's up in the air. We don't really know. But I guess we'll find out. But again, I just want to like kind of get y'all thinking about this, that if there are two different ghost faces, obviously the one who's more of a legacy character from like 20, 30 years ago from the original Scream movies, they're probably going to be tormenting Sidney, whereas someone younger and newer to the franchise is going to be tormenting Tatum and her friends, right? So that kind of lends us an interesting angle here. Now, for the whole AI angle, I want to get into this for a second because they said again that they're going to bring back Stu Macher, they're going to bring back Dewey, they're going to bring back Roman Bridger, right? And they're going to appear in the form of AI like voice notes or FaceTime like videos and stuff. They're going to be sent to her phone and they're going to terrorize Sidney. Okay, well, is that all that's going to happen? Like, because if that's all that's going to happen, then we pretty much know what to expect. The whole point of the AI video is to try to fool someone, right? And Sidney would know that it's not real. So what is the real twist there? The real twist can't be, oh, it's someone's using AI to try to mess with Sidney. the real twist here has to be maybe this isn't actually AI, right? I think we're all kind of thinking it like, is Stu Macher actually coming back? And if he is the AI going to replicate like how he used to look back in the day? Is it going to try to replicate like how he looks now? And if that's the case, then what if it's actually Stu Macher communicating with Sidney? And I'm not going to get into the logistics of how this would happen. That's a topic for another video, the whole Stu Macher thing. But let's just say if they are being sent AI videos of Stu Macher and Roman Bridger and, Dewey and all that stuff, what is the purpose ultimately going to be? Is it going to be like to torment? Is it going to be to like drop breadcrumbs? Is it going to be maybe to present a different reality to us? I don't think anyone's really thinking about what because AI can, the creepy thing about AI is that it can replicate real life to a point where we can't distinguish it from real life, right? It's getting creepily accurate now, the way AI can, almost, they can basically just look real. Like it's very difficult to tell nowadays how AI differs from real life sometimes, right? And a lot of people have been fooled, especially your boomer, grandmother or mothers or fathers, on Facebook. They've been fooled a lot. But, even I've been fooled a few times, and I'm a millennial. It's sometimes hard to tell that it's not real. So that could also be something where, what if we're given like, I don't know, like alternate footage of like something from the past happening, and that leads us down like a rabbit hole to believe this and that. And that's exactly what the Ghostface killer wants, right? Maybe they're trying to manipulate Sidney to believe something happened in the past that actually didn't. And this could involve, her mother Maureen. It could involve Stu. It could involve Billy. It could involve Roman. It could involve so many different things, right? And because AI is so easy to like replicate these things nowadays, and it can basically be indistinguishable from real life, what are the possibilities that they could be trying to manipulate Sidney with a fake video, right? Showing her something, presenting it as real, only for it to be fake later. The trailer actually mirrors this possibility, as we can see in the beginning, where the guy gets fooled by the fake animatronic Ghostface, right? First he thinks it's real, then we see, oh, it's just an animatronic. I think that goes hand in hand with the theme of this movie, that we can't really trust what we see and hear because it could very well be fake. I think that it's a very important detail we need to pay attention to. Here's another thing you guys maybe haven't thought about. Dewey, right? I mentioned in an earlier video about the Dewey tapes and how his recordings left over could be helping Sidney in this new investigation, trying to figure out who the new Ghostface killer is, right? Maybe they find, footage of him talking to himself on camera, right? As like part of an investigation. Maybe he's trying to go through his notes, trying to figure out like what's what, or maybe he made a video in advance to help Sidney and Gale down the line, just in case, he should die, because I'm sure he expected that. I'm sure he expected sooner or later that he would fall victim to one of these Ghostface killers killing him, right? And let's be honest, he did take a pretty big risk in Scream 5, almost knowing he was going to die. That was a weird moment. I don't know if anyone else thinks that was weird, but he kind of left and he was like, I got to go take care of this. No, you didn't. You didn't have to take care of that. And he just turned around and they all went in the elevator, and it's like, did you really have to do that? No. And he could have just pulled his gun out right then and there and shot the Ghostface in the head from a safe distance. But he decided to get really, close up. He's smarter than that. But I'm not going to get into the whole sketchiness of Dewey's death and all of that. We'll get into that into another video. But I just wanted to kind of get into this whole theory of the whole AI angle and what exactly could be produced as a result, how it could mislead Sidney and Gale, and not just be used as something predictable like tormenting her. Because I think we all see that from a mile away. Is that going to be funny or interesting? Is that going to be a shock to see that? Oh, here's Roman Bridger. He's dead, but not really. Her. Is that it? I'm sure that Ghostface could do better. I think he could be more manipulative with it and really make a comment about how AI has kind of infiltrated our culture to the point where we don't know what to believe is real, right? And then, of course, there's the ethical concerns of AI and, how that represents real life and all this stuff. And there could be adverts in the film. Maybe back in Woodsboro, they're using AI to have little tableau theater sessions where we see the murders taking place between Sidney and, Roman, or Sidney and Stu, and you get to watch little movies of it, right? Because AI can basically recreate any scenario nowadays, right? The whole movie could be filled with these types of things to kind of show us what is scarily possible with the use of AI technology nowadays, and how it could be used to manipulate Sidney, not just to scare her, not just to annoy her or terrorize her or whatever, but to actually manipulate the story and the situation. That's something that no one's really talking about. And again, what if the Dewey tapes are AI? What if those are fake? What if those were made by Stu Macher or somebody, right? Some mastermind decided, hey, let's make a fake tape of Dewey to lead Sidney down, a different road or whatever, a different path to pull her right into our grasp, right? Like, that could be a big twist. That's something no one's really expecting at this point, I don't think, right? So just something for you guys to think about. Well, anyway, that's all I got for you today, horror fans. Let me know your theories in the comments. I read every single one of them, even the unhinged ones. Yeah. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and smash that notification bell, because you never know when I'll kill or upload next. Stay scared.